Facebook Live with Becky G.
Hey.
Hey. We have so much to talk about, Becky G.
I know,
Because you have
I'm
so
excited.
many exciting new projects going on.
Yes.
Music, movie, you're doing everything.
I know. It's really crazy. I'm kind of like, I always like to say I have like 3 different worlds going on at the moment. I have my English music, I have my Spanish music, and then now I'm pursuing my acting career. So it's like I have 3 worlds like that I gotta keep rolling simultaneously, but it's really fun.
Yeah. So let's talk first music.
Yes.
Your new single, Todo Cambió, Spanish song. It's part of your Spanish album.
Yes.
I love the song.
Thank you.
It's so catchy. It's so upbeat. I feel like it's so different from what we've been listening to lately.
I'm glad you said that. That's awesome. I feel like as an artist, there's no better compliment than hearing that it's different. Just because as an artist, you want to have your own identity and you want to have your own style. And I feel like I've definitely been able to create that. My fans always say, like, I could tell Becky's song. I can tell it's Becky's voice, you know?
Yeah.
And I think with my Spanish music especially, the reason why is because when I sing in Spanish, it's different for me. It's like...
How so?
It comes from, like, my heart. It comes from my soul. It's like... It just feels familiar in a way that, like, you know, this is my first Spanish album, but since I was a little girl, I listened to English and Spanish music. And in Spanish, I mean, you're talking everything. Reggaeton, cumbias, rancheras, you name it.
Yeah.
Like, I was all about it. And now I'm making my own, you know, inspired by all the music that I had grown up listening to. And so... It's nice to hear that. Thank you.
And Todo Cambió is, the lyrics are they're very powerful. They're empowerment.
Thank you.
And you've been doing that with your other singles, Sola and Mangu. Can you tell us a little bit about why that's so important to you?
To me, it's so important to empower other Latina women, women in general, because I feel like it's very easy for people to pin women against each other or for women to tear each other down. And I think now more than ever, we're building each other up. Mm-hmm. And it's so nice. It's crazy to me that, like, especially in the Latino market industry, in the music, like, we're all family. We all really want each other to win. We all really inspire each other. I mean, back in the days, I probably couldn't, because of the industry, be friends with Leslie Grace, Carol G, you know, Sofia Reyes, and, like, those are the homies, you know what I mean? Like, they're equally just as talented and, like, different in their own way and all have their own path on how they've gotten to where they've gotten. And I think it's awesome that, like, we can, like, be all about this, like, girl power movement. And not feel like, you know, all the egos are, like, kind of checked out at the door. Like, when we're here to help each other, you know?
I see you guys tweeting at each other. I'm, like, always on the lookout with Leslie Grace.
There's not enough of us, especially in, like, in the music industry. It's a male-dominated industry, you know what I mean? And so when a woman is on the come-up, like, I want nothing more than for them to win, you know, just as much as I want to win. And I think that's us winning together because we are one, I guess you can say.
Yeah, for sure. And Todo Cambió, I mean, the video is super cool. You shot it in Madrid.
Yes.
And it's about, well, if you haven't seen it, you have to check it out. It's really cool.
Thank you.
But you're kind of like going against, you know, you're finding true love and you're chasing true love.
Yes.
Where did that inspiration come from?
Well, Todo Cambió, the song itself, was inspired by change in my life. There was a positive shift that took place, and it was because of, I think, growing up had a lot to do with it. Before the Power Rangers movie, I was in a place with my English music where I felt kind of stuck and not sure where I was going to go next and a little uninspired, and I felt like I wanted to be in a whole new world and be in a new field where I didn't know everything and I had to, you know, learn more and be around people who knew better than me to learn from them, and that was going into acting.
Oh, wow.
And that was when I was living on my own for the first time, and like so many series of events.
Anthem.
Yeah, a series of events happened that made me feel more and more independent and more self-assured, and I was filming my first movie. I decided that I wanted to record a Spanish album. I fell in love for the first time. Like, everything was changing, and I was like, I have to make a song about everything changing. And so that's where the song came from.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And you could sing a little bit of the song. I know your fans are probably
Let's see if I can.
dying to hear you.
Tocó mi cuerpo y en ese momento todo cambió. Detuvo el tiempo con solo un beso y todo cambió. en un segundo y fue diferente como solía ser. Tocó mi cuerpo y en ese momento todo cambió, todo cambió.
I love it.
Thank you.
And that's just a preview of what's to come from your Spanish album.
Yes.
And it's your first album because you've done an English EP.
Yes.
So, how are you feeling? Is it all
excited?
done?
So excited. I want to say it's done. I have like so many songs that I'm so excited about, and that I feel like are all like my little babies. Like I can't choose a favorite because they're all special in their own way.
Yeah.
And they're all somehow related to my life in some kind of way, whether it's something that I've gone through or something that I've seen happen to someone else that I know. And I think that's when music is really relatable, is when it's real. And so these songs, more than ever from my music, is very real.
Yeah.
And so it's fun. And I think too, something that I like to talk about is, obviously I've established an English music career. And now that I'm going into Spanish, I don't want to alienate anybody. I have so many Latino fans, which I'm so thankful for. But I also have fans in like China, Poland, Japan, like so many places all around the world, and here,
too, right?
and here, yeah, and then they speak English, and so I want them to still feel like they can be captivated by the music visually, and that's why I like doing story-driven music videos, and that's why Sola had like a cool story that went into Mangu. Todo Cambió it's all empowering, of course, messages for women to feel independent and find their own happiness as an individual, but they're interesting stories. So even if you don't speak the language, like my Beasters, like they love the music and they love the visual because they can understand it still.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, just a reminder, we're on Facebook Live with Billboard, and then we have a question from a fan, actually.
Ooh.
Jihan wants to know who inspires you.
Who inspires me? If we're speaking life in general, I want to say my family. My mom and dad are my best friends, and they definitely inspire me to like be better, and not only that everything is going to be okay, because in this career, in this field of industry, it's like really hard. It's a very cutthroat, like you gotta go all the time, and sometimes you can get so caught up, and like if you like kind of feel like your feet aren't touching the ground, like that's when you kind of feel like you're losing yourself. And my family, my parents especially, have never let me let my feet leave the ground.
Grounded.
Exactly. And that's super important. So I would say my family inspires me. And musically, all the powerful Latinas out there. I mean, Shakira, Jennifer Lopez, Jenny Rivera, Selena Quintanilla, Thalia. I mean, the list goes on and on. So those are just couple of the musical inspirations.
And speaking of Selena Quintanilla, you just did a remix, a new version of
yeah.
Ciudades.
Yes.
I love that version.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about that too, because I'm not sure if if everyone has heard it, but it's amazing.
Thank you. It was really awesome to be a part of. I mean, Selena Quintanilla, may she rest in peace. Although she is no longer with us, she is still with us. And I think that's something that I look up to as an artist, is that her music is still so alive, and her presence is still so alive. And the fact that we can, as artists, take inspiration from that and kind of like, do our own spin on it. In honor of her is just awesome. And shout out to all the artists who were a part of the song. I mean, there's the Spanish version that my girl Leslie Grace did with Frankie J and Winsine, which was really cool, and playing skills. And then we did the Spanglish version, which for me was really cool to be a part of because I am Spanglish speaking. I'm just as much Mexicana as I am American. And so I was like, we're going to do a Spanglish version and I get to be on it? I was like, wow. Yeah,
that's amazing. So then, your Spanish album is coming out. Do we know a date yet or not?
We don't
yet?
have a specific date just yet, so you guys just keep enjoying Todo Cambio. I promise there's more to come. But I'm hoping later on this year for sure, so they can have a full body of work to kind of enjoy and kind of get a little glimpse into who I am now. Because obviously I feel like I've grown up in front of everyone's eyes. You guys have like known me since like little B, 15, 14 years old, and now I'm a grown woman, and it's crazy. It's awesome.
That's amazing. So now, speaking of, powerful stories in your music videos, you're going to make your debut on the big screen with another powerful character, which is the Yellow Ranger.
Yes.
How do you feel?
It's incredible. It's amazing. It's such a surreal feeling. One, as an actress, I mean, there's nothing that I wanted more than for my first role to be a role that really does have an identity and is a strong character. And I think that's what Trini is. And it was an honor to play her. And also, I mean, there's not a lot of, Latino superheroes, and I get to be, one that walks like the path that not many have been able to walk. Exactly. And so that's super exciting for me. It's the, Latina Yellow Ranger.
Yeah,
it's like,
for
woo,
sure.
First time, crazy.
And we're going to take another question from
Awesome.
On that note, Danny wants to know, what was your favorite memory on set of the Power Rangers movie?
Ooh, that's a good one. Favorite memory on set of the Power Rangers movie. Oh, this is good. So we did a lot of night shoots. And night shoots are tough. Okay. Night shoots are really hard because you're working like 15, 16-hour days on set, like from the moment like the sun comes up till like nighttime, and then randomly they'll throw in a night shoot in the middle of the week, which throws off your whole sleep schedule, and you have to stay up all night, and you get to like these points of like you get kind of delusional, and it's 5 of us, and we're all pretty young. We're all like 20 years old.
Yeah.
So we get really goofy, like really, really goofy. And there was a scene where we all had to be very emotional and very down. And I don't want to put RJ on the spot, but he kind of, se echó un pedo. And we literally could not stop laughing for like at least a solid 30 minutes. And Dean, our director, God, love him, bless him. He's amazing. But it's a night shoot. Everyone's tired. Some people are cranky, and then there's us who are like, crazy. And then RJ had a fart, and we're all dying of laughter, and nobody could get the tears to come down anymore. We're like, why can't we cry? We're just so happy. This is funny. Like, we're not sad, Dean. You don't understand. He's like, guys, gotta get it together. So it's one of my favorite moments, for sure.
Oh my God, that's so funny. I can't even imagine that. Going into a tough scene after that.
Yeah, exactly. It was hard.
So what's your memory of the Power Rangers? Did you grow up watching it? Or?
I definitely did. So the funny thing is growing up, we didn't have like official cable. Like we had like, I remember like in kindergarten we had like the little bunny ears, like the little antennas. So like what you get is what you get. If you're gonna watch the news in the morning, then you're gonna have to watch the news. And sometimes we'd get the Power Rangers, the Japanese version. So sometimes I couldn't understand it, but there was the really bright spandex suits and flip, kabam, boom, the action. That's all I remember.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and I'm also Mexican, so I have a lot of cousins, 19 grandchildren on my mom's side, 15 on my dad's, and like, you play house, you play teacher, and one of the things that we would play was Power Rangers.
I used to play that too.
And so, yeah, and it's crazy because yellow's been my favorite color since the beginning. The yellow Teletubby, yellow sneakers, yellow flowers, I mean, everything yellow. And it was like meant to be the Yellow Ranger. I know, it's crazy.
So what are some qualities from Trini that you can definitely relate to?
It's really interesting, and I speak about this a lot. Because of what I've established as an artist, I feel like a lot of people would have expected me to play a role like Kimberly. Mm-hmm. Kimberly Hart, who's the pink Power Ranger, who's, un poco más like girly girl and like sassy, the queen bee of school, like has it all figured out, makeup, outfits. And Trini's the total opposite. She's a tomboy. She keeps up with the guys. She's very self-made, independent. And when I had the casting with our director, Dean, and he was casting for the role of Trini, and he was telling me about her, he's like asking me questions that was making me dig deeper and deeper into who I am as a person and not who I am as Becky G. And he found this common similarity of like, as an artist, it's very easy to feel alone. You meet people every single day, but sometimes you're in a room filled with thousands of people, you're on stage in front of thousands of people, and you can still feel alone. And I felt it was a familiar feeling, and Trini, she's going to Angel Grove High School, and she's been attending this school for a couple years now, and nobody knows who she is. Nobody knows her name. Nobody knows that they share the same class as her, There's a part in the movie where Kimberly's like, we have, history together, and she's like, you're a transfer, right? And I'm like, no, I've been attending Angel Grove for 2 years now, and we actually have biology together, And it's like, no, I'm a ghost, I'm invisible, I'm here and nobody sees me, And so finding that like common ground made it really easy for me to like dive into her character.
Oh wow, that's amazing. And I mean, you just turned 20.
I know, it's crazy.
And you're doing so many things. Do you ever just kind of stop and take it all in or think, whoa?
I
this
try
is
to.
happening?
I try to. I think I definitely like to stop and smell the roses for
Yeah.
sure, because when you work so hard for anything in life, I think it's important to acknowledge, that your hard work does pay off, and that you should be proud of yourself. And sometimes I like to, my motto is wake up every morning like you haven't done anything the day before. And so sometimes I do forget. But now looking back on my career, I mean, it's crazy to say I've been doing this for 11 years now.
That's
Like,
crazy.
I'm a baby and I've been working at this for 11 years. That's insane.
Yeah.
And I look back on it and I'm just in awe. I really am, because every step, whether it was a little left or a little right, it was always moving forward. And the fact that I've made it this far and there's still so much to go, like I look
So
back and I'm
much,
like
yeah.
excited. It's
much.
amazing. I feel very blessed.
You've got a long way to go,
Thank
and
you.
we're super excited for you.
Thank you.
Do you think there will be like a balance of music or film, or are you going to lean more towards one?
I'm kind of going wherever my heart takes me,
Yeah.
to be honest. I think that's really important. Music has always been the driver for me, and is something that I wanted to establish first. But now that I have acting going on, for me, it's when the right opportunity comes along. And Power Rangers was a perfect time. I really needed it in my life, and it was a great character who was represented in the best light. And that to me is also very important, because this time around you do see Trini as a Latina, and I get plenty of roles. It says Latina as the ethnicity, and then like the character may not be represented in the right way, and we're not put in the best light, and I'm like, yeah, no, that's not right for me. You know what I mean? So not every opportunity is the right opportunity, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So it just kind of depends, but definitely music is always first for me. So.
Okay. And then just to kind of wrap up, like you said, we grew up watching Power Rangers, and we wanted to be that ranger, whether pink or yellow. How does it make you feel that little girls are going to say, I want to be Becky G, the
It's
Yellow
amazing.
Ranger?
It's such an honor. I'm the oldest sibling. You know what I mean? I have 2 younger brothers and a little sister. And I say little, but they're all taller than me and bigger than me. But I do remember them being smaller than me. And still, I think about every decision that I make as a person within my 4 walls. It's an example for them. And now I'm doing that beyond just my 4 walls.
Yeah.
And so the fact that I can be somewhat of a real influence for young people, because nobody's perfect, and that's why I say real, not a perfect, idea, but a real role model for someone is really important, because I like to look at the glass half full, not half empty. And so if I could just share positivity with everyone and let them know that you can do this too, like you in anything in life, that's super important. And I think that's what's special about Power Rangers, is you get to be superheroes with your friends, but not only that, our identities are a mystery to everyone else. We have masks on, and that means that anybody can be behind that mask. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter the colors of our skins, where we come from, what social group we're supposed to belong in high school. We are who we are, and we are powerful, and we can be amazing. It could be my grandma behind the suit, and nobody would know. She's a Power Ranger.
Yeah.
Like, that's what's so special about being a Power Ranger, is that message of it can be you,
Yeah.
So...
That's amazing. Well, thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Becky G. I'm a big fan.
Thank
I
you
always
so
say
much.
that.
This was so fun.
Well, be on the lookout for album, new music.
Go check out Todo Cambió
Yes.
on everything. Basically, it's everywhere. So go check it out.
Wait, so are you doing English music as well? Or?
I'm working on English
Okay.
music at the moment. It's something that now that I've kind of set the tone with the Spanish music, and I feel like I've kind of found my identity in that, I definitely want that to inspire the English music and kind of be like a reflection, which is funny because my first album I ever bought was Christina Aguilera's Reflection album, and it was in English and in Spanish. It was Mi Reflect. What is it? I can't. Thank you.
Reflejo, yeah.
You know what I mean. And then Reflection, and it was both English and Spanish, and I really do want them to kind of emulate each other and kind of go together like cohesively.
All right. Well, be on the lookout. All things Becky G. The movie March 24th.
Yep, that's
Power
right.
Rangers.
Tickets are on sale now too if you guys want to, catch that first viewing of Power Rangers.
Yeah, don't miss it. Well, thank you so much, Becky G.
Thank you.